Welcome, my little mouses, whatever era you're in. You could be watching this in the year 3000. I'd be long gone by then. I'm on a mission to answer some of life's greatest questions surrounding the world of books. In this week's episode, we're tackling, like bulldozing into the ground, audiobooks. Do audiobooks count as reading? Do audiobooks even count as books? How much will privilege factor into these responses? To answer these questions, I listened to audiobooks for an entire week. Yeah, that's right, for an entire week my ears were under constant attack of auditory assault. I risked fungus and yeast infections in my ears. Because, yeah, constantly wearing your headphones without cleaning them can cause fungus and yeast infections to grow in your ears. I mean, I clean my headphones, so this was honestly never a concern for me. But still! Now, before we begin, what exactly is an audiobook? A reading of a book, typically a novel. To put it simply, it's like someone reading a bedtime story to you at any moment of the day, and you can also speed up their voice if they talk too slow. Where the Crawdads Sing is going to be the first book that I listened to. I found the audiobook version of this free on YouTube, and it was actually what kickstarted me into thinking I should make this video. Let me tell you what it's about. This story starts with a marsh and a girl named Kaya.
And long-legged birds lived with ice.
For years, Kaya has survived alone in the marsh, the place she calls home. She finds friends in the nature and the birds. However, the time comes when she yearns to be loved. So, the user who uploaded this is called The Screaming Banshee, and I just think that she has such a beautiful voice for audiobooks.
Part 1. The Marsh.
I listen to all my audiobooks on 2x speed because naturally that's just how fast my brain goes. My brain is either moving at 2x speed or 4x speed, so listening to this, it's just like my own thoughts.
Marsh is not a swamp. Marsh is a space of light, where grass grows in water.
Normally, when I listen to audiobooks, I have robotic voices.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
So, it's nice to have something different. Kaya opens herself up to a newer, less lonely life, and two males become entranced by her and her ways. When one of the boys, a rich guy named Chase, is found dead, the locals immediately suspect her to have killed him. Hands down, the best part about listening to audiobooks is that you can do other things while listening to it. The story switches from past to present. We see Kaya move through her difficult childhood and then see her as an adult, fighting to maintain her innocence against a town who despises her. I'm still gonna update where I am in the physical book just so then we can get a kind of idea about how far along we are.
And laugh until our ribs get tired.
I was able to get a lot of things done that I needed to get done. By listening to an audiobook, it made the experience of doing mundane tasks a lot more enjoyable than they would have been if I didn't have something to listen to. My favorite part of the day was going outside, feeling the sun, my skin, feeling the wind, seeing the nature. It was really beautiful.
A dandelion. Must be the last one of the season.
It's now time to take a break from the busy world, so I present nature ASMR.
Oh, it makes me so... Oh, I want to...
You like jazz?
Literally, I think I had vitamin D deficiency. I'm not even kidding. I looked up the symptoms for vitamin D deficiency and I had all of them, particularly the sickness one because I got a cold and I was bedridden for 3 weeks. Literally, all I did was lay down and watch BoJack Horseman. That's it. My entire July was taken out because I was sick with this cold. No fever, it wasn't the flu, it was literally just a cold. And it makes sense because I wasn't leaving my house. So I'm really trying hard to go outside and get sunshine. I mean, I should have known that I had vitamin D deficiency because I am incredibly pale. Right now, literally, I'm giving Edward a run for his money. So that's how the rest of my night went. I listened to the audiobook. Here is me trying to see where my cat was because she went under my chair and I needed to know where she was. Then here I am having a snack. This is this mint ice cream. It's very delicious. It's a staple of my life. And yeah, this is just me showing proof that I listened to everything. I'm going to rate this book 3 stars. I like the vibe. I like the descriptions of things. However, I just hated all of her interactions with love interests. Essentially, she was just taken advantage of. And I don't like that. But aside from that, it was very beautiful. I felt like I was in the marsh. I felt like I was seeing everything. So yes, that is it for day 1. I will see you again for day 2. Book 2 is All the Bright Places. And if you knew the journey that I went on, so let's listen to the audiobook version. I think my iPad is dead. Like forever. It's not turning back on. Why is it not turning back on? So this is... Oh, hello. By the way, I managed to get it back on. Like, it was very simple. This is what I think I'm going to listen to. This lady, she has all the chapters, I believe. So I'll be listening to hers. If I'm being honest, day 2 was very difficult to listen to. For some reason, I kept getting headaches, and I think maybe it's because I was listening to everything at such a fast speed that my brain was hurting, I think. 3 updates. I ordered a book cart. It literally just arrived. I saw the lady. 2, I'm gonna watch the movie, All the Right Places. 3, I'm really enjoying this story, and I think it's because it's being read. When something is read to me, there's just something about it that I'm really liking at the moment. All the Bright Places is one of those movies that I was genuinely surprised that I've never seen. When I watched it, it was like I had seen it before. I think it's just because it's that coming of age movie vibe that a lot of other ones are similar to. But yes. Now it is time for me to assemble my book cart. So, as you can see, I'm watching the movie while doing this. I was supposed to be listening to the audiobook while doing this, but then I got distracted. And honestly, oh, this is my face when I realized that a very pivotal character dies. Yeah, I just realized that he dies. And yeah, I didn't know that. And then I'm watching the football while I do this. And I know I was supposed to listen to the audiobook, but like I said, I was having a headache and I just couldn't. It's the next day. I just woke up. It's 1:25 p.m. Exactly. It's supposed to be winter in Australia right now. I'm supposed to be freezing to death, but instead, I've hardly worn winter clothes because it's just not cold. Anyway, last night I was really busy putting together my bookshelf cart and watching The Ring, and I just didn't really have enough time to listen to the audiobook. I've got a lot to listen to today. It's about 9.6 hours. I listened to everything on 2 times speed, so it's 4.8 hours. But yesterday I got through 2 hours worth of content, which means it translates to 1 hour because again I listened to things on 2 times speed, meaning that I only have about 4 hours to listen. I will update when I'm done and then show you the next one. Once I knew that the end was in sight, I really got into it. These are my miniature books that I made. I have a video on that. I also have a video of me going through my entire bookshelf and this. This is me showing you the update on where I am so far. This is just pretty landscape that I thought I'd show you. This is me updating yet again. So it is a few hours later. I am so relieved that I finally finished it. This is something that I have wanted to get through for a very long time now. The reason why I'm puffing is because I literally ran to get this out. Last night I did watch the movie. I will say the movie is so different to the book. It's just the entire vibes were different. Finch, the main character, I watched the movie and I'm just like, his personality in the movie was not, in my opinion, the personality of Finch in the books. You know? But yeah, I watched the movie last night while I was putting together my book cart, which you can see it's over there. And I have an ultimatum with myself. If I can get through all those books, I can buy some new ones. Now, the actual book, I think I'm gonna rate 2 stars. And for me, that's not even bad. Normally, I rate most books a 1 star. I just am very picky what kind of books I like, okay? You know, the book, it had so much potential. See, but I feel guilty about rating books low when it deals with sensitive themes. But at the same time, it's just, I can't change how I felt about it. I can put it on my shelf and just be at peace that I have finished it finally, after so many years of it just being on my shelf. With all that being said, that is it for book 2. I think it's day 3 now of this challenge, because yes, yesterday I was supposed to get it done, but then I couldn't. It's time for book 3, everybody. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. This will be the final book that I listened to the audiobook version of. It's a pocketbook version, and I really only got it because it has a beautiful, like, look at that cover and tell me it's not the most beautiful thing. And I liked the guy's voice who was reading it. Let me do some quick calculations. Okay, so it's 22 hours. And even listening to that on 2 times speed only brings it down to 11 hours and 19 minutes. So we're in for a very long haul. If I just basically become obsessed with only listening to this, I should get it done. Easy. I mean, I can. Before this year, I could have never done reading challenges like this because I always had something to do. Always had an event, always had a gathering, always had to go out there, go out here, do this, do that. But now, I'm free as a bird. Can I tell you guys something? Side rant before we get into this. And no, I'm not stalling. I'm the least stressed I've been my entire life. Like, I'm only stressed out about what my life plan is. For a few months, all I could think about was, have I made the right decision? So, I'm 18 now. 18. When I graduate uni, I'll be like 21. And then my life can really begin. Like, literally right now, I'm just chilling. You know, some people could look at me and they could say, you know what? That girl's sad. Her best friend is a cat. All she does is stay inside her house all day. She literally has vitamin D deficiency because she doesn't go outside. The reason why I find this so funny is because so many people were always like, put on sunscreen. And I did not really like putting on sunscreen. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like putting on sunscreen. Sue me. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. To be fair, I didn't think I was gonna make it to 18. So when everyone was like, wear sunscreen, you're gonna get skin cancer when you're older. I was like, I'm not gonna be older. What are you talking about? So yeah, there was even a while there where my own family was like, it's Friday night, why are you at home? Or it's Saturday night, why are you at home? Why are you not out? And I had to be like, it's not my time to be a party animal, okay? It's not. It's my time to read all those books, get through them, and then buy more books. That's my time right now. Every time I see a book that I like, I put it in my notes app because I don't like buying books one-off because I order my books online and I'm not gonna pay shipping. You think I'm gonna pay shipping? It's like $8 for shipping. You think I'm gonna pay that every single time I want a book? No. Anyways, that is enough said, enough ranting. We have this to get through. Well, I should say on this, but I like having the book because then I can see just how much I'm through. So when I get to like this stage, I'm like, oh look, I'm gonna confess to something, but don't tell anyone. As I've been doing this challenge, there have been stages where I have been reading along with the book. I don't know if this is just me, but sometimes if I listen to audiobooks too much or too fast, I get a headache. Oh look, there are people there. Surrounds. Is that the dragon? Alright, this is exciting.
And just so you know, my cat isn't my only friend. I'm also friends with the birds, even though I'm scared of them. This is what my Saturday afternoons sound like. Like literally every single afternoon. Anyways, again, look how pretty it is. For some reason, it was so beautiful outside. Here I am actually listening to the audiobook. I just paced back and forth. I ate my little snacks. I drank my little water. This was the reality of my Saturday nights. Very, very riveting. I know. Anyways, this was the biscuits I'm talking about. That was so good. This is my Nutella biscuits. These were also so good. That's why I kept showing them to you because it was good. If you listen really carefully, just listen. You can't really hear, but that sped up talking is what I was listening to. And this entire time, I was only listening to the prologue only.
It's Bilbo's 11th birthday. You know what? I feel like Bilbo and I feel like we are connected. So everyone wish Bilbo a happy 11th birthday. Just so he knows that he has our support. Happy 11th birthday, Bilbo. I have a pen and I have a palm card. And while I'm listening to the story being read to me, I'm taking notes because The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, is pretty thick. And there are still 2 more books after this. And I don't want to forget important things. And also, No one can sit here and tell me that if they listen to this entire thing, they're going to remember everything. If they listen to this for 20 hours, they're going to be able to remember all the important things. You just can't. So I'm taking notes while it's being read. Oh, look. Okay, that's the update. That is such a pretty cover. Okay. I was advantageous. I thought I was going to be able to get this book done today. I was wrong. I was really, really wrong. I'm sorry for that. I still have a very long way to go. But I mean, to be fair, it is a very long book and I'm trying, okay? I am. This is literally so embarrassing. I'm only that far into it and I've been working on this for like 3 days. It's like... Also, don't mind that. I'm kind of watching Harry Potter. Prison of Azkaban. I'm doing a marathon again. I am not going to update anymore until this is done. Currently, it's Tuesday the 8th of August at 3:25 p.m. The next time you see me, it's going to be when I finish it, okay? And we may be doing this for a while, but just bear with me. I know what I said, but I wanted to show you this. This is the current date. I could not fathom handwriting everything, so I took notes online and I seriously contemplated writing them all onto these cards, but then I decided it would just be easier if I just cut and pasted them, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm currently watching American Horror Story. I'm only on episode 2. I've tried to watch a few shows here and there since I completely finished Criminal Minds. Last season was terrible. Honestly, it kind of fell off when Derek left and then Hotch left and then Spencer left. So if I ever was to rewatch it, I'd only rewatch certain seasons. But ever since Criminal Minds is over, I've been trying to fill the void in my heart. And I've tried filling it with other shows, but the shows I was watching, that it kind of needs to be a specific vibe to watch them. So instead I'm watching American Horror Story at the moment, and I'm not going to say too much, but so far I'm really liking it. So I'm going to watch that while I cut and paste things. And you see that guy there? When I was younger, I watched this show called Mary Beastown and it was really good. And he plays the detective. Now I have to do this 1,000 more times. I will update you when it is done. Update so far. The task is finally complete. One thing I will say is that if you're planning on taking notes about the content you're consuming, listening to audiobooks is an awful thing because you have to keep pausing and keep rewinding, and it's just, no, I would highly recommend that if you're planning on taking notes on any books, at least chapter by chapter like what I did here, don't listen to audiobooks because it won't work. My favorite book is Frankenstein. Me too! Can you believe Victor went digging around in morgues and slaughterhouses? It honestly gives me the creeps. Same! Anyway, this is my special edition of the physical book. Isn't the cover so pretty? So pretty. So, like, what edition do you have? Oh, I don't have any edition. But you said you read it. I listen to audiobooks. Oh, I would have never known that you had listened to the book instead of reading it unless you had told me. The bottom line is that if someone listens to an audiobook instead of just physically reading it, they're still getting a grasp of the plot, they're still getting a grasp of the characters. An audiobook, after all, is literally just someone reading a physical book. I also think people should acknowledge the privilege that comes from being able to read a physical book. You need to have functioning eyesight, have the ability to read, have the ability to be able to comprehend what has been written. You need to either have financial stability to be able to buy books or have means to access a physical library. You need space to be able to store the book. You also need time where you can just sit down and read it in between work, school, commitments, all those things. For anyone who doesn't have access to any of those things, audiobooks are a wonderful alternative because a lot of the times you can get them for free. Now it is time to discuss the advantages and disadvantages because there's advantages and disadvantages to every single situation. The main advantage would be being able to complete daily tasks while consuming the book's content, either by doing chores, working out, driving to and from work. You can also eat food without worrying about dropping anything on the pages. Personally, I find it quite difficult to manage a book and eat at the same time. but that could just be a me problem. Your eyes also get a break because you literally don't need to use your eyes at all for listening to audiobooks. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. I feel like this could be a very personal me problem, but sometimes I listen to it at such a lightning fast speed that my brain just hurts. I get terrible raging headaches afterwards. And also, I just feel like I could just have read the book faster. You know, sometimes the people were just droning on and I'm just like, we can pick up the pace a little bit here. My general consensus is that people should consume literature with whatever means personally suits them. There is not a one-size-fits-all to any situation. Even those one-size-fits-all shirts do not fit everyone. So just find out what works for you, whether that be audiobooks or physical books or online books, Kindle, fan fiction websites. Really, the list goes on.
You haven't answered the questions yet.
I'm getting to it. Do audiobooks count as reading? Yes and no. In the grand scheme of things, they totally do. But I mean, technically, if you're being all technical, no, because you're listening and you're not actually reading by using your eyes. Do audiobooks even count as books? Yes, they literally have books in the name. Additionally, audiobooks are just physical books being read aloud. How much privilege will factor into these responses? Sorry, I'm reading my notes here. I'm tired and my wig is all messed up, but the show must go on. Okay, I've already talked about this. There's a great deal of privilege in being able to physically read books. Honestly, I think that everyone will have different opinions, and that is the reality of this world. But you should definitely let me know. So feel free to tell me in the comments what you personally think on this entire matter. Just let me know, all right? I think audiobooks can be really good if you're reading difficult content. So for example, say that there's a book and the book has a lot of difficult wording. I think listening to it and then reading it would be helpful for your comprehension, potentially. But if you're planning on taking notes, I would suggest listening to the audiobook first, then reading and taking notes in that portion, because trying to take notes while listening to something is very, very difficult for me. So it might be difficult for you. I don't know, it may work well for you. Again, there's nuance. Everybody's different. Everyone will find different things different. I will personally be listening to audiobooks when I want to walk, when my eyes hurt, when I'm tired, even though I have a tendency to fall asleep while I'm listening to audiobooks when I'm tired. However, there is just something about holding a physical book. But I also think sometimes like pairing them together can be wonderful. I really honestly think that. Bye! Bye, my little mouses. By the way, I'm calling you guys that now. I don't know, I was just thinking, you know, I need to have a name. So you guys are going to be called the Mouses, because technically Mouses isn't a real word. And if you're like, I'm a Mouses, everyone's going to be like, it's mice or mouse. So yeah, Mouses. That's what I'm going with. By the way, I made a new Instagram. It's here. And this is my TikTok, if you want to know. So if you want to follow me on there, you like totally can.